So a funny thing is I was going through some of the bullet points for some videos and stuff that I've been wanting to do for a little bit. Was talking about Cloud Strife and talking about all the stuff that came out from him, about him from Ultimania, the translations for that, and just how he seems to be different, important, well not different, but important in so many different ways than he was in the original game. Like there are so many things about Cloud now, not just his loss of memory, but some things that he can remember before. And, you know, that could just be narrative stuff. And I've seen your comments. I've seen a lot of y'all commenting on that. And I feel that way too. I think that could just be like, you know, just like Sephiroth was included so much this time around. It's because narratively, he understands, Sephiroth knows by studying the live stream and the knowledge and the data contained within the live stream now from all the different time loops. Well, the previous time loops before the one they're currently in. He's downloaded all this information. He sees things. So he's coming to Cloud. He's in the story more often than just he was in the original Prime line of Final Fantasy VII. Also, Cloud remembers different things now. So I think the Cloud remembering different stuff could just be a situation where the writers are like, okay, look, people know this. Many people know Cloud killed Sephiroth. All this kind of stuff, the stuff with the promise of Thief and everything. So if we want to write things a little bit differently, we can. Of course, Cloud has that, you know, when he after he says, you know, I killed you with my, you know, like he just realized he, you know, whatever. A lot is, there are so many things going on with Cloud right now. So in the original game, in the Prime line of Final Fantasy VII, you have the Key of the Ancients, right? I think there's a lot of like figurative and literal crossover with some of the stuff that happens in Final Fantasy VII. Like some things are meant to be taken figuratively, right? Some things are meant to be taken literally. Like in most fantasy, you know, in most fantasy, a lot of fantasy borrows from like different mythologies, Greek, even Middle Eastern mythologies, a lot of Nordic mythologies for sure. And a lot of people out there cover that stuff. That's not what I do here. I don't want to step on nobody's toes. Baby Seal, Schrodinger Baby Seal, he's really good at that. MJ Gallagher is really good with that. So it's not stuff I touch on this channel because there's other places you can go to get that. I would highly suggest checking those guys out because they're great. It goes without saying that a lot of things are borrowed from mythology. And in mythology, things are meant to be taken figuratively and literally. So no different in Final Fantasy VII. So a lot of times when somebody will say something like Aerith's, you know, Steel Sky comment at the end of the story, that's both figurative and literal. And that's just one example. There's a lot of symbolism too. And so you've got the Key to the Ancients in the Prime line of Final Fantasy VII. Of course, Bugenhagen is a big part of that storyline. You know, accessing the Forgotten Capital and the information contained within. I feel like there's this thing going on right now with Final Fantasy VII Remake where Cloud Strife is this like key to the planet. Like he is, I don't want to say the absolute guardian or sentinel of the planet, but I feel, and not even like a chosen one, because I think putting a chosen one label on something takes away from their journey. I feel like Cloud, but Cloud is also more than right place, right time, right? There are character traits within Cloud Strife that go beyond just, oh, he was in the right place at the right time, he got experimented on, all this kind of stuff. It's like Captain America. Cloud Strife is like Captain America in a lot of ways. He got all of his super abilities and superhuman strength and all that kind of thing from the Super Soldier experiments. Basically, that's what happened with Cloud. But the determination and the strife, you know, is what made him his Cloud Strife. That's what makes him who he is. The intangibles, the experimentation, that is the tangible side. The Super Soldier Serum with Captain America and the Genova experiments in Final Fantasy VII are very, very alike, very similar. But the intangibles with those characters between Steve Rogers and Cloud Strife are very, very similar. Cloud wanted to be somebody. He wanted to be somebody. He wanted to. He was ready to rock. He was ready to go to Midgar. You know, be a first class soldier. Like a lot of the guys and people in that world had like that dream, you know, to be like Sephiroth or whatever. Cloud had a determination. He had this side to him that helped him best Sephiroth without any experimentation. He killed Sephiroth. Of course, Sephiroth was in the throes of madness and, you know, had really didn't take Cloud seriously, overlooked him, and it cost him his life. So Cloud Strife, skewered with the Masamune, picks it up, hurls Sephiroth into the Mako well in Nibelheim, and then he's experimented on. I think the planet saw something in Cloud. You know, he was just like any other citizen of Gaia, but I think on that day when he did that to Sephiroth, I think the planet was like, there's something with this kid, almost like a scout recruiting, right? Saw that there was something with Cloud, something about Cloud, and I think seeing how things played out in the original time loop, now knowing what it knows, I think the planet is trying to keep Cloud close. Like it knows what happened and it's trying to keep things in the right direction. So Cloud is a catalyst. He is one of those people that we spoke of in the previous video that has the power to change the planet, has the power to change the world. Cloud Strife is one of a few people that have the power to change the world. Like, we see that. So whether you feel like whatever, if it's the live stream or if it's a version of Aerith from a previous time loop in the live stream that's seeing how things go, trying to communicate with Cloud, however you fall on that, whichever direction you fall on that, I think it all has to do with Cloud. He is the centerpiece. He is the linchpin, as I said a few videos ago, and he is the key to the planet. Cloud's going to be the key to everything. That's why Sephiroth knows it too, right? Because that's why he's trying to keep Cloud close. The planet's trying to keep Cloud close, but Sephiroth's trying to keep Cloud close as well. Instead of, in the original time loop, Sephiroth was always like, I want to give Cloud despair. I want to cost you everything. I want to take everything from you and all this kind of stuff. And even when Sephiroth, so here's the thing to chew on, right? Even when Sephiroth, before he died and went into the live stream and got all this knowledge, he killed Cloud's mother. He destroyed everybody in Nibelheim. So everything was going just as it should that whole time until he fell into the planet, until he started downloading all this information, until he got wise to what happened in previous time loops. He downloaded all this data, he got all this information, and now he's trying to be buddies with Cloud. He's trying to be like, look, I did this so you would get stronger. Look, hey, I did this for you. Or hey, let's do this together. Hey, you know, his story has changed now. But up until the time Sephiroth went into the live stream, everything was as it was. Everything was as it was. So, I think there's a lot more to do with Cloud. Also, as I spoke of in a previous video about a year or so ago, it was sometime back in 2020, I believe, I feel like more has been done to Cloud this time around, as far as experimentation. Or they could play it to like, well, we just didn't mention it in the first game, but it was there. I feel like Cloud has Cetra cells in him now. From Hojo, I believe Hojo used some of Ephalina's DNA that he would have already cataloged before the Nibelheim incident, right? This happened when Aerith was a little girl. So this would have been way before the Nibelheim incident. He would have had all this stuff cataloged, all the data cataloged. So I believe Cloud not only has Genova cells, Sephiroth cells, and all this other kind of stuff in him, but I feel like he's got Ephalina's cells within him too. Which, if this goes back to the point I made earlier in the video, so we're connecting details here. Someone in the live stream, even as powerful as Aerith, even as powerful as previous time loop Aerith, right? Or if this is the second, just the next time loop, or if this is like the 100th time loop that we're playing in Remake. If Aerith, the previous Aeriths in the time loops are a collective consciousness, or if it's singular or whatever, for the sake of not getting too convoluted, let's just say it's this one singular consciousness that is Aerith, right? coming to Cloud and trying to show Cloud visions of what's to come, and the scene in the garden where that projection of Aerith is an Aerith from the live stream that's seeing how future events play out, right? They confirmed that in Ultimania. She can't just come to anybody. She can't just show stuff to anybody, or she'd be talking to Elmira all the time. She'd be talking to different people all the time. She can only come to Cloud, it seems, right now. I could be wrong. When Game 2 comes out, we could find out that's completely wrong. But based on what is going on right now, it seems that's the way they're going. And if that's the case, I think it's because Cloud has Cetra DNA from Ifalna's cells. I think Hojo used them during the Nibelheim incident. I believe he's got those in him. I believe that's what they're doing. And I believe that's why the planet / Aerith in the live stream can speak with Cloud. So I'll say all that to basically just say there's so much more importance with Cloud this time around. He's more than just a boy with a big dream that got screwed over, basically. He's more than that this time around. And I can't wait to see what they do with the character, because I think after reading the Ultimania and after reading some of it will go in depth on the actual word-for-word translations in other videos I'm releasing this week. But to start the week off, I wanted you all to think about that before we get into everything else. So I'm going to leave it at that. You all have a great night. Be good to each other. Stay safe out there. Keep rocking. If you're digging the shirts that I wear in the videos, they're all available on raykaufman.com. This is my original artwork. You can check these out. Got the business going up here. Follow me on social media. Boom. Consider becoming a Patreon YouTube member. So you can get some cool art and cool stuff and access to things that other people don't get access to. So until the next video, you all keep rocking. Be good to each other. Stay safe. I'll see you all soon.